Hello, my gorgeous group ones. Welcome to your reading. Thank you for joining me here as always. So we're going to hop right into today's reading. It's going to be about why are you so lovable or what makes you so lovable. Okay, let's get right into it. Today I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet and cute. Y'all know I be yapping, so you never know. But let's try to make this as short as we can, okay? So what makes my group one so lovable, please, Spirit? Before the reading, when I was shuffling your cards, okay, getting into the energy, asking Spirit, your angel, ancestors, spirit guides, all that stuff, to be here with us during this reading, giving us all the tea and messages as usual, I kept mixing up why are you so lovable with why are you so powerful. So that could be something. I was also hearing that you believe in magic, so that could be something that is coming through for you guys. But we have the Two of Wands here, and that is kind of giving me like the world is your oyster. Anything is possible. Anything can happen. Like, I believe in magic and that I have the magic in me. You know, I'm hearing, I've got the magic in me. I've got the magic, baby. So you make people believe in magic, or you still yourself believe in magic. That's why you're so lovable. So you could have kind of like a young at heart kind of, I guess, take on the world, you know, and maybe you are someone who wants to take on the world. That's something that you do that makes you very lovable, right? Maybe you're very emotive. Maybe you're someone who is very, I'm hearing charitable, could be something coming through as well. You give your time and money quite freely, time or money, both, right? You're someone who cares about what happens to the world. You have like a very soft heart. But you're definitely someone who's very, I guess, outgoing in a kind of way where you like to talk to people and you like to express yourself, and there's something about that coming through. But it's kind of like you're outgoing a little bit, you know? You talk to people, you interact, you ask questions, you know? Networking is kind of coming through, so you're very good at talking to people, being very sociable, right? But yeah, that's what was coming through. And then you could also be someone who's very spiritual, like kind of, you know, woo-woo, kind of out there beliefs, because I felt the need to kind of say I was tapping into the energy of your angels, ancestors, and spirit guides. That's not something I would usually talk about in conversation with people. Of course, you guys are not people. You're my people. You're my people, right? But it's kind of like I wouldn't just start a conversation off with, yeah, so I was tapping into the energy of your angels, ancestors, spirit guides. I wouldn't be out in the world and just say that to people, right? So it's giving you someone who could say that to people. You open up and you're very open and clear about your spirituality. It's not something you hide. It's something you're always talking about. You take great pride in your connection with source and or your spirit guides or your angels or your ancestors, because everyone has a different connection with each. Some people are more connected to the ancestors. That's why we ask for their help. Some people are more connected to the angels. That's why we ask for their help. Some people just want a private connection between them and source, God, whoever they believe in. And that's what is coming through. You know what I mean? And then some people have close connections with their spirit guides, and some people are close to all. So it's your preference. But there's something here about you being into that is coming through in the reading. That's what makes you so lovable. They're kind of like, that's just my woo-woo friend, right? I was seeing a video on social media. I forget if it was Instagram or TikTok, because I'll be on both sometimes. But I'm trying to remember. It was like when you're riding in the car with your everything is fine or magical friend, right? Where it's like a phrase was coming through like, oh, that was supposed to happen. Oh, that's just spirit looking out for me. Oh, that's just the universe saying hi kind of energy, that, you know, life with that kind of friend. So first and foremost, I think they were like pulling into a parking spot, and she was like, look at how spirit just had this parking spot here for me. Oh my gosh, the universe. And then they went into the store and she's like, I'm going to go buy my good luck smoothie. And her friend was like, that's $20. She's like, okay, it's worth it. It's my good luck smoothie. Whenever I buy it, something good happens to me. She's like, $20 is nothing. Come on, I'll buy you one too. And then in another part of the, I guess, video, she came back to her car and got a ticket. Oh man, I got a ticket. But on the ticket, it was like two. She's like, oh, Spirit, it's fine. Like, they sent me a message. It's going to be okay. Look, there's 222 on the ticket. Like, it's just the funniest video ever. And, like, there's always that one person we know where it's kind of like, charge it to Spirit, okay? I don't care if I got a ticket. It's fine. Like, they're going to cover it. The money will come back to me in some kind of way. I'm not going to stress about it. So it's kind of like go with the flow, free spirit, everything happens for a reason kind of person. And that makes you lovable. You're that friend that's like, girl, that happened for a reason. That's spirit talking to you. This parking spot was waiting for me. I just love how everything works out for me. You know, lucky girl syndrome could definitely be something you definitely experience, or people experience when they're with you. So they kind of like they don't laugh it off anymore at a certain point. It's like, okay, maybe these things are kind of true. You know, maybe you kind of convert people, you make them a believer. Okay, so that's enough of all that. We've been talking too much. 5 minutes in. The Two of Wands is definitely someone who sees things quite differently. Okay, they have plans, they're on a mission, and nothing is going to stop them. You're very dedicated, okay, very driven. It's like whatever I want is going to happen. It doesn't matter if it's going to be through the woo-woo or is it going to be through me. Okay, it's going to happen. And maybe you're just like that. People say, oh my gosh, some people will call it delusional. No, it's magic, okay? I'm hearing that song from, I think it's Now You See It. It was a movie on Disney Channel. Do you believe in magic in a young girl's heart? How the music can free up whenever you start. It's magic. And that was a movie about kids who actually had magic. I think one of the guys in the movie had actual magic and everyone else was just doing close-up magic, right? But you would be that one kid that the movie was about that had real magic. I think that was the reason why the guy in the movie made the school for kids in the first place, because he was looking for kids with real magic, right? And then it turned creepy and it was like this conspiracy theory, whatever. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It's such a good movie. Go watch it. It has Allison Mashaka in it, and I just loved it. I was obsessed with that movie when I was younger. And I feel like me, as someone who was like destined to find tarot in a way, was obsessed with all the witchy magic movies growing up. So it's like, it's no, like, not even excuse. It's no surprise that I found my way around to tarot and doing these kinds of readings, because those are the things I always gravitated towards. Superheroes, magic, close-up magic, you know, things that are fake, fantasy. Like, that was my tea. It still is and always will be, right? So that could be something that makes you lovable. You love all the fantasy, you love the romance, you love the magic, you know, you love the witchy, you love the gory, you love the scary, you love the unexplainable kind of energy, and that makes you very lovable, right? You would be my kin. Like I said, you're my people. I already know. I could tell, I could feel it. Okay, you love all the things that are unexplainable. You like to look for answers in every little thing, and you believe in signs and synchronicities, and like you could just talk your ear off about it. Astrology, things like that, you know? Magic, then fantasy, and the bird outside is so cute and little. So you could be someone very chatty, because I feel like I'm losing my breath and you're reading, because I'm just talking so much. There's so many ideas coming to mind, so the conversation never gets dry or boring with you. You always have something else to pull out of your sleeve when it comes time to talk or have a conversation or talk about things you're interested in or things you believe in, right? Maybe you love birds. Could be something coming through, but that bird just stopped there and was like tweet, 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 tweet. Flew away. So you're definitely a yapper like I am, which is why my readings are always so long, and I apologize for that, but I also don't, because hey, if you're gonna stick around, you're gonna stick around and enjoy the time we're spending together, okay? And that could be something that's how people enjoy the time you spend with them. Jesus, that scared me. Oh, this stupid water bottle move. Maybe you're someone who's easily scared, or you like to scare people, one or the other, or you make weird noises. Oh boy. That just tapped me out of my yapping session, so there you go. Two of Wands. You have Four of Cups and the High Priestess. Look at that. That's what I was talking about. This Four of Cups is an interesting energy, though, because this is not what I was getting for you. I was getting a more open energy for you, but maybe you aren't as open as I thought you were, because if we're talking about the High Priestess, she's also a little bit more reserved, you know? She's not talking to everyone or as friendly. So maybe what the people you know that you're close to get this yapper side of you, and everyone else kind of gets this High Priestess, woo-woo, head on the clouds. Half of your mind is elsewhere. You know, maybe half of your mind is with spirit, or you're contacting or convening with the spirits, and then the next half of you is here on earth. So one half of you is, like I said, in the subconscious, the 5D, right? The things that are not real, you're always in your head, in your imagination kind of thing. And then the other half of you is here on earth with everyone else, okay? That's what's coming through with the High Priestess. For the Four of Cups, maybe you're picky in love, and that could be more what this Four of Cups is speaking about, because I'm not getting that you're someone who's like, leave me alone, but you could be someone who is picky when it comes to choosing a romantic partner for yourself. You're not accepting just any old offer from anybody off the street, right? You have them hearing qualifications they have to meet. You have a list. You have boundaries. You have all these things. I love that for y'all, honestly. But this Two of Wands is like kind of giving me you're a very creative person, because we have wands, then we have twos. So when it comes to making decisions, making choices, I'm hearing you're also someone who's really crafty. You're really good at making decisions that are best for you. But the decisions you usually make, it's like you following your gut, your heart, the things you love. You're not like doing things to please other people. You're doing things to please yourself. Is the vibe that's coming through with this Two of Wands, okay? Your imagination is quite vast, though. You know, you're never like I said, the conversation never goes dry. You're never lost for ideas. You always have something to say, something to add, something to pivot to. Like, you're just a very interesting person, you know? I'm hearing with like a wide imagination, like a wide mind, if that makes sense. Open mind makes more sense to me. Yeah, you have an open mind, okay? There we go. Let's keep going. The Four of Cups is like, yeah, you're picky when it comes to love. You know, you want the right thing. You're picky when it comes to who's in your life. You want the right people, right? As you should. High Priestess is Pisces energy, which gives me 12th house, which gives me someone who's very much in their head or very spiritual. The 12th house is also about your fears, okay? It can be about addictions and it can be about the mind, the psyche. So that could be something. And it's funny, when I was talking about astrology, I was going to bring up psychology, but psychology isn't in the realm of like astrology, woo-woo, spirituality. Psychology is like a proven or an actual science, I guess we could say. But I did feel called to say psychology earlier when I was saying you're into fantasy, you're into gore, you're into superheroes, and you're into astrology. And I was going to say astrology. I'm sorry, I was going to say psychology, but I was like, that's not in that realm, you know, but you could also be into that as well, okay? You could also be someone who is very like ethereally beautiful, which is why you're so lovable, okay? Because Psyche always reminds me how when Eros was sent to like make her life a living, Hell, he instead fell in love with her because she was so beautiful, right? She rivaled Aphrodite's beauty, which is why Aphrodite sent Eros to kind of make her life bad, you know? Whew, that was a lot coming through. So people could definitely feel intimidated by your beauty, and that's something that you don't really, I don't think you dwell on that, but other people could like that you are someone who is just as beautiful on the outside as you are on the inside. It kind of proves that, like, it's like poetic justice in a way, where there are certain people out there who are beautiful but just bland and dry and ugly on the inside, but you wouldn't know until you get to know them. With you, what you see literally is what you get. You come through as someone who's open, you're truthful, you're honest, you're imaginative, you're curious, you know, you're kind, right? You're open-minded, you don't really judge people, right? But there is always a part of you that's maybe always lost in your head, or you're always like gonna pivot to anything more spiritual. You need to have deep, stimulating conversations. You can't just be surface level talking about the weather. You know what I mean? You're always assessing, you see things people don't, whether it's spoken verbally and people tell you, you never forget, or it's you just notice the small things about people and people are like, oh my gosh, we love that about you. You know what I mean? But it's giving what's on the inside is just as prominent on the outside, which is kind of like why I guess these two pillars are kind of confirming that for me, if you will, because we have the dark pillar here, which would be the inside part of you, right? And then we have the outside part of you, which is what everyone else sees, and they're just the same, right? You're right in the middle of that. Okay, but you have I'm hearing a golden personality. Let's keep going. Please spur what makes my group one so lovable. I'm hearing year number one. That episode of SpongeBob where he was walking around with that freaking contraption on his head that was supposed to be worth like thousands or millions of dollars, and Mr. Krabs was trying to finagle him to sell it to him, and he was like, no, I'm gonna go and give it back to the person who really owns it. And that's the kind of person you are, literally. Yeah, I was just talking about the dumb hat and the I guess the behind the scenes of the episode, I guess, whatever you can call it, where Mr. Krabs was trying to trick SpongeBob into giving up the hat to him because it didn't actually belong to him. And SpongeBob was like, you know what? I'll do you one better. He went and dug up the dang man's grave, put the hat in the grave, and buried that man back in peace, and came back to Mr. Krabs. And Mr. Krabs was like, where is that hat? He's like, it's with that Schmidt guy, the one who really owns it, because you were trying to convince me you owned it, and you didn't own nothing. It really belonged to him. And Mr. Krabs was upset. He went running to the graveyard, digging up that man's grave again, just for greed. And you were doing things out of like the kindness of your heart, the pureness of your heart. And that's what makes you so lovable, because you wouldn't be Mr. Krabs doing it for the coins. okay, trying to trick somebody out of their hat to get some money. You're doing it because that actually belongs to that person, and you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart. So you may like take on a little bit like a SpongeBob persona sometimes, right? Where you're very like, I don't want to say ditzy, but you know, naive, gullible, right? Too trusting, just very innocent and go with the flow. That kind of energy is why you're so lovable as well. Not because people want to take advantage of it. Some people might, but I'm not getting that for why you're lovable. It's more so that it's like refreshing. Like I said, in a world where everyone is like so fake and superficial and surface level, you're someone who wants to go deep. You want to learn people. You want to know who they are, what makes them tick, how they turned out the way they turned out, why they did, why they think this way. You want to like really get in there into the psyche, literally, exactly, as the high priestess there. And whether they tell you or not, you have a way of getting that information just the longer you're around them, just from vibes, you know? You, like I said, you have little voices whispering in your mind. You know, sometimes you think, that's just a thought that I had. No, it's literally spirit whispering little things into your ear. You know, clairaudience coming through, clairvoyance, clear negligence, clear cognizance, right? It's just like, I'm hearing, this person seems interesting. And oh, they may like purple. And you're like, oh, do you like that? And people are like, yeah, how did you know? I just heard it. And you may not like coincide that, or what's the proper word? You may not correlate that to, oh, I'm clairaudient or whatever, but it is that sometimes. You're just watching someone, you start getting thoughts, intuitive downloads, feelings, and you're like, oh, I wonder if this is like true about them. You may ask them or bring it up in conversation, and they're like, wait, how did you know? You're like, you know, it just crossed my mind. It really isn't crossing your mind. That's that clairaudience. That's that, you know, awareness, hyper awareness, hyper vigilance of you, you know. You read people really well, okay? Here you have Two of Pentacles, okay, and then here you have the Page of Swords. Yeah, you're very inquisitive, very curious. You want to know everything about people. You ask a lot of questions. And that is that SpongeBob energy coming through. Whatever he didn't know, he was very open to learning. And he never thought of, oh, maybe this person's taking advantage of me, right? And I'm seeing the other episode where SpongeBob like discovered the colorful patties, and Mr. Krabs wanted to like take the idea, and he kind of like fired SpongeBob and stole the idea for himself, until he realized you don't have the magic in you. That magic and that idea came from SpongeBob. So he was the only one in that episode who was able to profit from the idea. You know what I mean? No, you know what happened? SpongeBob went and started selling the patties by himself outside of the Krusty Krab. And he started getting so much business. The Krusty Krab was always empty. And then Mr. Krab was like, where's all our customers? And then he ran to SpongeBob in front of his house, and he was selling the patties there. And everyone was buying it. The lines were like long as heck. And SpongeBob was making money. And Mr. Krabs like, hey, SpongeBob, like, how you doing? Do you want to maybe, you know, switch spots? You can go and own the Krusty Krab, and I'll take over your little small, little useless stand here. You don't want this. It's not even a whole Krusty Krab restaurant. And he tricked SpongeBob into going and working at the Krusty Krab and continuing to sell SpongeBob's creation. And I forget what happened in the episode, but basically everyone stopped coming to Mr. Krabs and started going back to the Krusty Krab. And it just seemed like whatever Mr. Krabs seemed to want to trick SpongeBob into doing or not doing, it would always turn out in SpongeBob's favor. And like I said, it's because the idea, the sentiment, the gift is within him, not Mr. Krabs. The reason everybody loved those Krabby Patties is because SpongeBob was making them. He was putting his foot in them. He was putting his gift in them. He was doing what he needed. He was putting his love in it. He was doing something he loved. And that's why it showed in the product, okay? Especially with those different colored patties. He was like, you know what? Maybe we should add some color to them, you know? And he came up with the idea. It was all his idea. He was making them. They were selling out. And then I think Mr. Krabs like fired him or something happened. And I already said it. But then he tricked him and brought him to the Krusty Krab, and then he started losing business because they found out that it was making people sick or turning them a different color. Turning them different colors is what I think happened. The patties were like tainted or something. And then when the police or the riot came for Mr. Krabs, he was like, no, it's not me, it's SpongeBob. But SpongeBob was doing fine until Mr. Krabs came along and was trying to steal his idea. Nothing was happening. And then as soon as Mr. Krabs took it over trying to corrupt it, because he just wanted to do it for money and not enjoyment and love, here comes people turning green and purple and pink, and their tongue was And then everyone was mad as soon as Mr. Krabs took over the freaking stand. And that was like a very common theme in that dang show, because SpongeBob was just doing things innocently, you know, not to hurt anyone. And even if people did get hurt, it was always resolved in like a, you know, quiet, cute manner. Keep it cute, keep it quiet, keep it hush. But then when Mr. Krabs or Squidward wanted to get involved, it always went haywire. And that's the difference between innocence, naivety, open-mindedness, you know what I mean? The energy of the pages as opposed to the energy of the people who want to take advantage of the pages, right? So you're coming through as someone who is very, I don't want to call you a simpleton, but you're very simple. You look at things in a very simple way. You're not looking to manipulate or take advantage of, you know? And people love that about you and appreciate that. So you're very much giving a SpongeBob character. But like I said, I think even in that show, he had like a simple, deep wisdom to him. It wasn't, I'm not smart. It's just that I'm not taking everything about me so seriously. I don't want to be the smartest or the richest in the room. I just want to be me. You know what I mean? And there was like a profoundness in SpongeBob that made him probably one of the smartest characters in the show. Even though he may not have been book smart or street smart, he was just a nice human being, and things always turned out well for him. And that's something that's coming through for you guys as well. What makes you so lovable? You always have pure intentions, right? And I just saw 2111, so 111 could be coming through. That's my confirmation, I guess, right? And I do believe it's because of that. You have like a fierce, very inquisitive, very powerful energy to you that makes you very lovable. The Two of Pentacles here is giving me someone who's able to juggle between two different things. You're able to be this and that, do this and that, be him and her, you know? It's kind of giving me perfectly balancing these energies of being, I guess, subconscious and being in the subconscious, being in the 5D, and then operating as someone who's also in the 3D, because you're someone who's both. You're multifaceted, but in the way of sometimes I am in my head and I'm lost and I'm not here on earth, and other times I am. And that's perfectly fine, because when I'm here, and when I'm not, I'm not. And you balance those energies quite well. Because we have twos coming through, excuse me, if you heard that. Which you probably did, because this dang voice thing picks up everything. But yeah, the twos are like choices, decisions. So you can be really good at making decisions or taking other people into consideration when you do make big decisions. Could be something else coming through as well. Okay, and I said it's going to be short and it's getting quite long. Let us see what else is coming through for you guys, okay? Let us pull from, what is this again? The Lenormand. Let's see what comes through for you. How many are these for? We'll take them. So the first one we have, this is what I was talking about, that imagination. And I love how we have 22 coming through when we have Two of Wands, Two of Pentacles coming through, and the Priestess, the 2, so 2, 2, 2. And I saw 2111, so 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2 is coming through. Those could be angel numbers you're always seeing. But here we have the choice, the decision. And both of these doors lead to beautiful outcomes. But one is the sunshine and one is the nighttime. You know, so it's kind of like no matter what. And these are given the two different sides of your mind. One is the imagination, one is the reality. One is the nighttime, the day. One is the subconscious, one is the conscious, right? One is the dreams, one is the reality. One is the spirit, one is the 3D, you know? That's the kind of energy coming through here. But I do believe this is like the card of like choices. And it's funny how I was mentioning choices, and that's the card of choices. If you don't believe me, I'll look in the book and prove it to you. We have 23, so we have 22, we have 23. And this is the mice, so you're very resourceful, very good at getting what you want. Maybe you like to eat a lot, and that's something people love about you as well. You're a foodie, you love to eat and drink. Maybe you're someone really small and petite as well, and that makes you quite lovable. We also have the sun coming through. Wow. Oh, this was 5 and not 4. Look, we have the woman, the dreamer. Okay. I'm hearing Imagine by John Lennon coming through. And I'm also hearing Imagine a World Like That by Ariana Grande. Here we have the dice. So people don't know what to expect. You're kind of like a wild card. And it's funny how this is coming out under the Two of Pentacles. It makes so much sense, does it not? Here we have your someone who's dreamer, your imagination, your ideals, your idealism. I'm getting like hopeless romantic energy coming through for you. So the Two of Wands being clarified by the 22. You're someone who loves adventure and you love trying new things, doing new things. You are someone who accomplishes things quite easily. Like, it's an easy feat for you, is what I'm hearing. You know, when you get up and want to do something, it's more often than not that you're going to get that thing done, you know? It's not something you have trouble with or get stuck. You have the world in the palm of your hands, literally, and, you know, the world is your oyster kind of energy, you know? So things just always work out for you. And that's two, alignment. You're always aligned, right? But this card here, I'm gonna look at the book now before, because I'm like the Two of Wands, and then those two things, it's like adventure. No matter what people do with you, it's gonna lead to a desired outcome. It's gonna lead to a happy outcome, you know? But let's get into 22 really quickly. How would you do all that? We have, yeah, choice. Look what I said, choice. Decisions and choices are what I offer. Alternate directions are what I augur. I speak in multiple and double, and when I'm in a relationship, I might be trouble. Oh, so you're trouble in a connection, eh? I mean, that kind of makes sense here. Or people could think you're trouble, but you're really not. Like the way SpongeBob was always seen as this negative character who bad things always happen around him, when it was just him living his life, child, and learning along the way. He was innocent. I'm his lawyer. He's innocent. Thank you. Your honor. But anyway, it says there comes a time when one needs to make the choice of going one way or another. Neither way is right or wrong, but only one way can be taken. Maybe you find a way to do both things, you know, choose both. Because here we have the stairs, and I feel like both, like I said, of these lead to an ideal outcome. So no matter what you do choose, it always ends up working in your favor, whether you were questioning it or you were sure about it, you know? I'm hearing you always end up where you're supposed to be, right? Interesting. Okay, I'm kind of hearing, I'm hearing it's not the journey, it's it's not the destination, it's the journey. So you kind of make decisions whether they go your way or not. You will just love the journey it took you on, you know? And it doesn't matter which door people choose when it comes to you, they're going to be going on an adventure either way. I love that. That makes you lovable. I would make it that, I would choose that, you know? And it says steps and stairs are symbolic of ascending to a higher place, a much better place, where once you are through the doors at the top that lead to the stairs, then the possibilities are infinite. That's what's coming through here. Like I said, no matter where you go, no matter what you do, no matter what journey you choose to embark on, if someone's by your side and they're watching you go through these things, they always find that you find your footing. It never ends up horrible or wrong. Even if it does, there's a lesson in that, you know? Beautiful. Okay, maybe you're someone who's always hungry. Maybe you're someone who used to be hungry. Maybe you're someone who used to be like, poverous. I'm making up words now. Maybe you used to have a poverty mindset, and so you found spirituality that makes you quite lovable as well. Because you could have been someone who's like a little bit of a pessimist, nothing ever works out for me, da 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 da. And so you found spirituality and realized there's a reason behind certain things. Sometimes there's a lesson in the journey you took, and sometimes there is no lesson. Sometimes things just go right, and it's like a balance, up and down, a freaking Two of Pentacles, right? But you're always ready to take the gamble with these two dice coming through here. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Okay, the mice is 23. You don't want me in your house. You don't want me in your blouse. I bring loss. I bring theft with destruction and decay. I'm your stress and anxiety. And that's kind of like what you used to do. You used to be stressed and anxious until you kind of tapped into this high priestess energy. And now no matter what you do, you don't like stress about the outcome. It's kind of like, yeah, whatever happens, happens. And that's kind of what I was tapping into in the beginning of the reading, where it's kind of like, I believe in magic. It doesn't matter what is going wrong, what's going right. Things are going to turn out my way. The girl was like, got a ticket. Look, I see 222 on the ticket. Look, it's coming through again. 222, stop playing. There's 222 on the ticket. It's going to be fine. Spirit got my back. I'm going to go buy my good luck milkshake, and I'm going to mind my business, right? Oh, look at that. I found some money on the floor. Look at that. I found this. Lucky girl syndrome, right? I like this reading a lot, actually. We have the Four of Cups and we have the Sun. The Four of Cups is an energy of being apathetic, but I'm not getting that you're that. Maybe sometimes you are hard to get too close emotionally, but like I said, it was more so giving me you're someone who's very picky when it comes to what you want in a relationship. With the Sun clearing for that. The Sun is like very bright, okay? And these two here are giving me the same energy, where when you go looking for certain things, you want to romanticize those things. And that's something that people love experiencing right by your side, okay? We have the rose, we have the journal, so something about you journaling, okay? I'm hearing scripting about love, visualizing love, getting lost in your head. It's kind of like giving me that daydreaming kind of feeling here. Yeah. You're very quick-witted, inquisitive, and funny is also what I'm hearing. You could have nice thighs too, because these thighs look nice and shapely, for sure. Let's see what else is coming through for you guys. You guys got to be very clean, because I'm seeing how the shadow is like lingering on the 6 in this dial, and 6 always gives me 6th house, which is healthy. And that would make sense if you're nice and healthy and fit. She does look like someone who be in the gym, okay, working on her fitness. What's that song? She put them plays around and she be riding down the block just to watch what I got for delicious. So maybe your song is very delicious, okay? And that's what makes you lovable as well. And that's what the food is coming through as, maybe. Okay. Okay, let's keep going. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Sage coming through. So the Sage, someone who's very knowledgeable, someone who has like that inner wisdom. Like I said, SpongeBob always just seemed to be profound. SpongeBob and Patrick actually always seem to be quite profound, more deep than everyone else in the reading. And it's funny because I think people say that SpongeBob is a Cancer or something. So that would make a lot of sense. If you're like a Cancer or resonate with Cancer energy, you don't have to be. Because I know every time I'm watching a reading, especially Lexi the Leo readings, I always choose piles where she's like, and you must have so much water in your chart. And I'm like, girl, I don't have any water. I don't have any water. Stop saying that. Like, it has been happening for years. Since I found her channel, every time I end up watching her readings, which aren't often, I just always get the water pile. I'm like, girl, I don't have the water. All my prominent placements are fire, earth, and air. I have no water in my chart besides the houses that are water houses. Like, what do you want from me, sis? Like, but it's kind of giving me that you resonate with being someone who's very nurturing, very intuitive, right? Very sharp, quick-witted. You see things people don't see, okay? But let's keep going. We have the Fall. This card is always very interesting to me because they talk about how this is about Lily Bart, I guess, moving through society, learning how to balance what people think versus what she actually wants, versus love, versus finances, versus money, versus feelings and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, do I want to go after what I want, or do I want to deal with love? I'm not sure. I haven't read her book or her story or whatever this comes from, but I just remember I've read it a few times, and it's always like her learning how to balance, you know, wanting financial security with also finding love and stuff like that. Oh, look, here we have Empathy Mary. This is the second time this card has come out. This came out, I think, yesterday in the reading. She's so sweet, so little. We have Mary, Empathy. So we have the Fall, we have Empathy. And then, ooh, we have King Arthur, the Leader. So you definitely show people how to live life, or how it's done, or how they should live life. And I love how we have this cup up here, which I'm pretty sure is the Holy Grail or something? Whatever. It's that thing that everyone was looking for in those legends, okay? Is it like it keeps you young or something? I can't remember, child. But it's definitely giving me the Holy Grail kind of energy. That's how you live your life, you know? And people could consider you the Holy Grail, especially because we had the Sage at the bottom of the deck. So you're someone people trust when it comes to wisdom and knowledge and things of that nature, things that require depth, that require thinking, that require, I guess, spirituality as well, okay? Let's get this book open real quick and see what comes through. I want to read about the Fall again. And why I skipped 22. That keeps coming through for y'all. 43. The Fall. Ooh, desire, compromise, and loss. Look at that. It's things that you want, having to compromise between desires and things you can and can't have, things like that. But Lily's tragic descent is a reflection of the fragile balance between desires and societal pressure. Caught between her longing for love and the need for financial security, Lily's fall from grace illustrates the cost of living within the rigid expectations of high society. Later. Her story speaks to the price of compromise and the loss of self in the pursuit of acceptance. So this could definitely be something you've gone through a lot, right? Having to lose parts of yourself to learn other parts of yourself, maybe having to lose love in order to find financial security, maybe having to lose financial security in the pursuit of love, and then having to learn how to balance those two things. And the quote is, funnily enough, the only way not to think about money is to have a great deal of it. So that's coming through, okay? And I want to read the affirmation. I never feel called to, but I feel called to for your reading. So it says, my folly does not define me. My failures are only a fraction of my story. And it's funny because that's what I was kind of saying with you guys. You're kind of like, when things go wrong or go bump in the night, I know it's going to turn out right for me. I'm not worried or stressed about it. And that's something people love about you, because you kind of help them with the energy as well. You lead in that kind of way where you make them believe in spirit, that everything happens for a reason. And it's like, it's always going to lead to your highest outcome. And that's something that they learn, because that's something that I learned as well. It's like, the more you go through things, if you go through no strife or struggle in life, what lessons are you learning? What character are you building? You know, like, lessons is character development. And you've gone through a lot of it, and it's something that people see in you, and they're like, okay, you're the sage now. I trust you to tell me the right thing to do. So people do come to you for advice, and that's why they love you, okay? Interesting. Be careful not to get used when it comes to this kind of power that you have, right? Because you are magic. You're coming through with someone who's very magical, you know? Okay, but yeah, let's keep going. Sorry. My failures are only a fraction of my story. My second chance, one of many along the road, is something to be cherished. Look at that. So you could be seen as someone who has a great deal of money. You're on the way to having that. We didn't get any pentacles besides the Two of Pentacles, and it really wasn't giving money and wealth, but it's giving that something you have been on the way to gaining in your life, maybe. I think for you guys, just something, a message apart from the reading, you're going to get more money the more you take risks, the more you gamble, the more you try different things. That's how you're going to find your success, through risk, you know? There's no reward without the risk behind it. That's going to be your lease in life. And that's something that you could have discovered already, or you're now discovering. But without any risk, there's no reward. And you're going to be taking risks, right? Interesting. And this is what I was saying about pickiness and when it comes to love. Because I do believe they said her downfall was her trying to, longing for love, but also needing financial security. And that's maybe something she didn't have in the... Sorry, I'm not even showing it to you. That's not something she may have had in the book or whatever her story is from. Where is it? The House of Mirth. I may have to read that because she keeps coming through. But yeah, it's giving, I want both. Like, I want someone with myrrh yarn, and I want to find love as well. I need both of them. And that could be something people are seeing about you as well, because you know your worth. You're not giving it up just to fall in love, right? And that's what I was saying. You may have to leave love behind to find financial security, because if no one's going to give it to you, you got to find it yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, love is a thing you kind of go through, go up and down, and then you finally decided, hey, I ain't finding nobody or dealing with nobody until they got some money. Because ain't nobody's son or daughter gonna be stressing out and you broke. Goodbye, okay? And that's something that's lovable, because I appreciate that. I love that about you. Keep it up, okay? And here we have the secret garden. As Mary nurtures the once neglected garden, she also opens her heart to the world around her. Look what I was saying earlier, the things keep coming through. Transforming from a selfish child into a compassionate soul. Oh. Her connection to the earth and the people in her life brings about healing, not only for the garden, but also for herself and those she loves. The garden's rebirth symbolizes the power of empathy and growth, okay? So it says, the mutter flipping magic that I was talking about earlier in the reading works best when you work yourself. That is why you're so lovable right there, because you stopped chasing people, things, possessions, and started worrying about you, yourself, and your own money and your own possessions. I love that. You just want to live. You just want to live. Like SpongeBob. And things always worked out for him, and he just wanted to live. Exactly. So lots of power, empathy, and growth in your energy coming through here. That makes you quite lovable. It's the lessons you've learned and the person you become throughout those lessons that are making you so lovable. Okay, let's read for King Arthur, which is very straightforward. 7 is also a divine number, powerful number. Okay, so like I said, powerful keeps coming through. Here we have authority, vision, and confidence. Those are things that are lovable about you, okay? And then we have desire, compromise, and loss. Your desires, what's lovable about you? Maybe you have desire to live, a desire to love, a desire to connect with people physically and emotionally, right? And then here we had, I forgot what they said for poor Mary, but we'll keep going for a second. It says, the leader understands that guidance and support are not achieved through tyranny, but through vision and example. The leader, through her own actions, helps you see the strength you possess within. A leader is a mentor, a guide, and a northern light. Seek in your own life those who show wisdom through actions and show a generosity of spirit. And if that person is hard to find, be that person to someone else, and a path will reveal itself. This part right here is very important because you are the person who shows wisdom through actions, and you show a great deal of generosity of your spirit, and you make that other people do that too. Like, you make people turn into that as well when they see you do that. So it's kind of like you're the change that people want to see in the world. You became that change yourself, and now you're encouraging others to do the same. Okay, beautiful, gorgeous. So your leadership is also something that's very lovable about you. How you guide with a benevolent heart and spirit. It's not selfish, and it's not corrupt, and it's not wanting to control, but wanting to help and grow and nurture the way she nurtured this plant. And you turn from someone who may have been selfish before to someone who's empathic. Look at that. That's beautiful. This is telling the whole story. But I want us to get the keywords for this here. We have 39. Healing, growth, and connection. That is also what's lovable about you. The connection people feel to you, your connections in your life, the growth people have seen, and your healing energy, okay? So I'm going to leave you reading there before I keep yapping. I hope it resonated for somebody out there. If it did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever want to book a personal reading with me, you can always do so using my email in the description box below, okay? If you want to join the memberships, you could also do that as well by using the link in the description box right above the timestamps, okay? But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. Hype the video if you can, right? Leave a beautiful comment down below and share the video if you want anyone to know what's lovable about them, okay? And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group twos. Welcome to your reading. Let's jump straight into the tea. We're going to be getting into what makes you so lovable. Okay, so what makes you so lovable? Let's get right on into it. I tried to make group one short. It didn't end up short, so we'll see how your reading goes, okay? I'm hearing short and sweet for you guys, so that could be what makes you so lovable. Maybe you're fun-sized. Maybe you're short and sweet. Maybe you like to keep things short and sweet, keep things very simple. You don't like to complicate things, right? I'm hearing easygoing could definitely be a vibe coming through for you as well. You're someone who's very easygoing, go with the flow. You don't complicate things. You don't like to cause trouble or stir things up. Maybe you're someone who hates gossip, right? And some of us love gossip. Me, when it's with the right people about the right things, I do like to indulge in a little bit of gossip. But if it's too negative, too ghetto, I'm like, ugh, yuck. Like, leave me out of it, you know? But if it's, you know, playful, banter, back and forth, kind of energy, ribbing each other, making jokes, cracking jokes, you know, teasing, I'm here for all of that. Now, when it gets a little too ridiculous, a little too spiteful, a little too nasty, that's when I'm like, okay, you need to get your priorities in order, because that's not gossip. That is bitterness, and you're hateful, and I don't like that, nor do I co-sign to that, okay? Funnily enough, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Wands, as you can see, and that kind of gives me you defend people. You defend people's honor, or you're always ready to go toe-to-toe with someone, especially when it comes to, like, people being treated wrong, right? So maybe you could have, like, strong Aries or Libra placements, because those two always give me, like, a strong hand of justice, swift justice, things being brought to rights. Like, I never understood. I mean, I kind of understood. Hold on. Things never made more sense to me, or were more clear after I discovered my birth chart, for example. So I'm a Libra moon, Aries rising. Now, the more I started to get into learning about Aries, I would always just think aggressive, loud, loves to fight. And that's funny, because I was saying that about you guys, right? You're always willing to defend someone or speak up for someone, right? Or banter, go back and forth. Anyway, I just saw 222's confirmation. But it never made more sense to me why I just hate injustice when anybody's being done wrong, or people are talking mess about someone behind their back. I just can't get behind it, because me, I'm a very straightforward, honest person. If I don't like you, you'll most likely know. If I have something to say, I'll say it to your face, like things like that. And then you meet certain people who are just like throwing stones, hiding their hands, you know, what is it called, living in glass houses, you know, calling the kettle black when they a dang pot and they've been burned. Like, the stuff like that really grinds my gears. You know what I mean? So it never made more sense until I realized that I'm a Libra moon, but also Libras are not very, like, conflict prone or causing a scene prone. They don't like drama, you know? And then I'm like, okay, the more I started learning about Aries, I'm like, okay, I'm an Aries rising. That's like more about my personality, who I am, stuff like that. Who I really am kind of thing, the person I'm growing into, whatever. And I just keep hearing they love to fight for justice and stand up for what's right. And I'm like, since when is Aries like that? But the more I'm reading into it and the more I think about it, I'm like, you know what, that's right. Because me, I'm going to fight for somebody and myself. Like, if this person can't stick up for themselves, I'm going to stick up for them. And that's the kind of energy coming through for you. You don't like when people are being treated unfairly. You don't like when you're being treated unfairly, when things happen that aren't supposed to happen. It really, like, upsets me. Like, I get mad. And then when I want to start fighting for justice, for, you know, fairness, whatever, for balance, like, and I'm like, that makes sense. But I always thought it was my Libra moon. But then the more I learn about Libra, they like things to be very harmonious. They strive for that. They crave for that. They hate like upheaval. They hate things being like disordered. Disordered is crazy. Scattered, you know, disorganized, all over the place, crazy, you know, chaotic, right? And I'm like, it must be the Aries in me now. And that's kind of what I'm getting for you guys. You have Aries and Libra placements because Libra is still like justice and overall rightness in the world, right? So you could be giving someone who's like an upstanding citizen. Okay. But yeah, that's what's coming through for you guys. You fight for what's right and that's it. Conflict ain't scared of you. I was just seeing a video earlier this morning about, I think her name is Rue Rose. She is Tiana Taylor's daughter, and someone was interviewing her. And like, I feel like she was like posing. I think I saw a video of that as well. She was posing real cute, real sassy, real like confident, like on the red carpet. And I'm like, I wish I was that way when I was her age. When I was young, I was the most shy, in my shell, like scared of talking to people and people looking at me I could have ever been. Like, I was terrified. And I think someone commented, like, social anxiety is scared of her. Because I think the interviewer asked her, like, where did you learn to pose like that? And she went right into, she ignored the question first and foremost. And then she was like, I'm going to sing you a song from Frozen. Listen to me sing. And then jumped right into singing. And I was just giggling because, yes, little girl, I wish I could have been as fearless and, you know, upfront and bold as she was. And I went to the comments and the lady was like, social anxiety is scared of her. And I'm like, I know that's right. So all those things resonate for you. I don't know why I went into like a story time, but the more I learn about like, you know, Aries and Libra placements, the more it kind of makes sense why I am the way I am. And like when things go wrong, like it really just burns, like the rage is insane. So that could definitely be a thing as well. Maybe you're lovable because everyone knows you'll stick up for them or you're going to do what's right, okay? Even if you aren't someone who's like prone to physical violence or outbursts, right? Then you are definitely someone who people know that it affects or rubs the wrong way at the very least, right? You're going to speak up about it, if not fight for it, right? You're not throwing punches, but you'll say what needs to be said, right? You have no problem with confrontation. Is the word that I meant to say. Libras hate confrontation. They don't like drama. They don't like fighting, you know, speaking up about certain things, depending on what kind of Libra it is, right? But they do desire and crave harmony, which is why if they do speak up, it's to bring back the harmony to the situation. So they're not constantly, you know, on their guard, right? On their tippy toes, trying to not make anybody, trying to step on any the grenades. You know what I mean? But I love the funny little, like the dichotomies between Aries and Libra. So that could definitely be something coming through for you guys. Oh boy, we have 10 of Swords. Okay. I'm hearing I won't start things, but I'll finish them, is what I just heard. So that could definitely be a thing, especially with the 10 of Swords. Like, that's the end. Nothing can be salvaged or brought back from the situation. It's over. Like, you wanted to start it, though, but watch me finish it, okay, is the energy. And we have the King of Swords. That makes so much bloody sense. And then we have the King of Pentacles. Yeah, so you like when things are peaceful, at rights, when things are nice and there's order in the court, okay? So maybe some of you are kind of giving judges, or like I said, you do have those prominent Libra or Aries placements, like, order in the court, there will be order in this court. Banging your gavel on the table. Okay, please, Spirit, count me into the energy of group 2. Some of you could have an accent. Jeez Louise, how many cards are these? You want to put them back. Maybe you guys are rhyme. You rhyme. You're poets, rappers, writers. Because I don't know why that just made me think of, oh, that's bars right there. So you rhyme, or you have like a prose, a way of speaking that's like melodic, lilting, musical, poetic. Okay, here we have the Chariot. Interesting. This is the second reading in a row. Like yesterday, it was like all three masculine cards. Today, it's all three masculine cards, different masculine cards, but same energy. You're no nonsense. You don't play. People are scared to speak up against you. Social anxiety is scared of you, right? Injustice is scared of you, because here you go. You're giving police officer, judge, law enforcement vibes. Is coming through. That is what makes you so enjoyable, because you bring order to the courts, to the realm. That's what I just heard. Okay, I'm hearing, what's that man's name? Was his name Galahad or something? Galahad, I believe, is the knight from King Arthur's Round Table who kind of acquired, is it the Holy Grail or something? I always forget what they're looking for. I'm hearing Galahad, but I'm also hearing Lancelot, right? That's the one who first came to mind. I'm like, no, not Galahad, the other knight that was sneaking around with, what's her name? Is Genevieve? No. Is it? King Arthur and, could be Genevieve, I don't know. But yeah, she was caught between Lancelot and King Arthur, right. And they were both very powerful knights. King Arthur was very well respected, and Sir Lancelot was the second-hand man. Okay, so something here about you being a knight in shining armor, or like I said, someone who just fights for justice and equality and things like that. And that's what makes you so lovable. So you're gonna advocate, you're gonna speak up. Here we have the Sun. That's you bringing light to topics that maybe other people want to keep in the dark, right? You need everything to be out and on the table. You don't want nothing to be hidden. You don't want nobody throwing subs. You know what I mean? Can I get one more card, please? So there's like a lot about structure, balance, justice, keeping things like right, a very strong moral standing, a sense of right and wrong kind of energy. You're someone who's very warm. You could be someone who's very playful with the Sun card coming through as well. We have Leo energy, so you're very prominent, bold, loud in people's faces, okay? I was trying to say, maybe you're not. No, these four energies coming out back to back is very much giving loud, proud, and in your face, okay? What makes you so lovable? Some of you could have like a big chest as well, because I don't want to point too much attention to it, but if you look at the Chariot card, the two Sphinxes down there are very chesty. And that's not something that I've ever seen in my day. So I don't understand what's going on here. I just saw Love and 11. So maybe you're also someone who's like very divinely guided, right? Or you're a master manifester kind of energy. I'm seeing like the Magician in my mind's eye. So that could be important as well. But I'm like, why the heck are these Sphinxes so chesty? So you can be someone who's very chesty. And then we have the Sun card, which is a child that's naked on a horse. So, you know, your naked body could definitely be prominent, your body in general. This Ten of Swords is giving me an energy of someone who works. I'm hearing work, and mind the whole day through. So you're a very hard worker, sometimes to the point of like burnout, you know? You do too much sometimes, you speak too much, overexert yourself. These two cards, the King of Swords and the King of Pentacles in this deck, or in this, I mean, not in the deck, please. In this reading is giving me workaholic, where you just do too much sometimes, right? You overwork yourself. The Chariot card coming out to clarify that is definitely a thing. When it comes to, I guess, your intellectual pursuits, the things you're reading about and learning when it comes to knowledge and schooling and things like that, you're always reading to burn out. Maybe you like to read at nighttime. I'm seeing someone with glasses with their little flashlight under the sheets reading, even when their parents told them to go to sleep. You could have gotten in trouble for that a lot when you were younger. But you just loved the world, the adventure of reading, learning new things. You're very smart and intelligent, okay, knowledgeable about a bunch of different things, and people find that very lovable about you. You're kind of even like Steve Urkel, did I do that? You could be someone who's very clumsy as well with the Ten of Swords coming through here. But yeah, these two energies here are giving me the overachievers, so you're definitely an overachiever. King of Pentacles works too much, doesn't know when to relax. King of Swords reads too much, writes too much, like speaks too much, and doesn't know when to relax. Burnout is a big thing. And then the Chariot is someone who's so focused on chasing their dream, they don't have time to stop. You know what I mean? They're just like, keep going. move forward. You know what I mean? Nothing's gonna stop me. And then we have the sun, and it could definitely have to do with things that you enjoy. The sun is Leo, and the sun, not the sun, Leo is fifth house energy, and that is the things we enjoy. Romance, children. You could be work well with kids, or you're like a kid at heart, child at heart, young at heart. Your sun is very bright, round face, happy, jovial. You always have a smile for people. But yeah, fifth house energies are creativity. You know what I mean? It's romance, it's love. You could be someone who's always looking for love. You know what I mean? Like I said, good with kids, very good with kids, because you are kind of like a little bit of a child still yourself. Okay. Relaxing vacations and good times is also the energy of the fifth house, okay? So that could be a thing, but because we have the creative arts coming through in some kind of way, like I said, painting, reading, writing, spoken word, things like that, singing, dancing, like painting, whatever you want to call it, you have like a lot of creative pursuits that you go and chase tirelessly, and sometimes you don't rest enough, okay? But people are seeing it as lovable because that's you doing what you love to do more than anything else in the world, and that makes you lovable. It's kind of like, that darn girl doesn't know when to stop reading for her own good. And it's kind of like they're saying it in like an endearing way, not like, oh my gosh, you're doing too much. Maybe sometimes they do, but they still think about it as something that's lovable about you. You know what I mean? I'm also hearing some of you could have a catchphrase. I just heard DJ from Full House, oh my Lanta, in my head. And she was definitely someone who was known for that catchphrase. And Stephanie was known for, how rude. And then Michelle was known for, you got it, dude. So you could have like something like that, you know, a little catchphrase people know you for, and that's also very lovable about you. You're giving me very quirky. And now that I'm thinking about it, that makes a lot of sense because we have the King of Swords, and the King of Swords is Aquarius energy. And Aquarians are known for being the aliens, the outcasts. They stand out. They can't blend in with the rest of the crowd. So it's either your smarts that are standing out, the things you say, or how you act that's standing out, okay? I'm hearing your character is standing out. Maybe you do have a character that you put on when you're out into the world. I'm getting like an actor coming through here. I'm also kind of getting method acting, when certain actors, when they are in a role for the time being, however that time may be, for a year, 2 years, 3 years, they stay in character and will not leave character no matter what they do. So if they're going home to their wife, for example, and they're playing an assassin in the army or whatever, just for example's sake, you know, they're coming home as that assassin in the army, and they're not gonna turn back into the sweet, lovable husband that you knew, because they're so deep in the trenches of that actor, the story, the role, that they're not doing anything to get out of it. So maybe you sometimes get stuck on things, you get obsessive about certain things, and that's what could also lead to this burnout here. Okay. King of Pentacles, someone who's very abundant. What's lovable about you is your provider mindset. The way you show up for people, like I said, you take care of them, you defend them, you will speak on their behalf if necessary, if they need any kind of assistance or money or whatever, knowledge, help, you're going to be there assisting them, okay? King of Pentacles, very abundant, good at making money. Taurus, very stubborn, hard-headed. Those things can make you very lovable. And that could play a part in this. When you're stuck on something, you're stuck on it for the foreseeable future. No one can tell you anything different. It's like someone who gets obsessed with a TV show and makes it their whole personality. You get obsessed with a book and make it your whole personality. You get obsessed with a food or a product or a little something makeup that you bought for yourself, and you're obsessed with it for the time being. You know, very fixated on certain things. And I heard that's a very neurodivergent thing to do, to, I guess, curate obsessions about certain things. So you could be someone who's neurodivergent or neurospicy, as they try to say these days to make it sound less daunting, I guess. You could also like spicy foods, and that's endearing about you because not everyone can handle spice, and that's something I've learned a lot over the years. As someone who just grew up in a Caribbean household where they give you spice from young, and just growing up and loving everything spice and heat and, you know, flavor, and then meeting people who really just can't handle it. Not that they don't like it, they can't handle it. I'm like, oh. So if you could handle it, would you still eat it? Like, I'm very curious Because me, everything needs to have some spice in it, you know? And that's probably why I may have developed IBS. It's not as bad as it used to be, so maybe it's going away a little bit. Oh my goodness, but maybe you're someone who definitely deals with that as well, but that was coming through. But I just grew up spicy food, this, spicy food, that, hot sauce in my wallet, this, hot sauce in my pocket, that, you know, adding a little extra flavor, going to a restaurant, y'all got hot sauce in the back, like, that's how bad it is, and it still is that bad. And then I met someone recently, and she just can't handle it. I'm like, oh, I've never experienced that, because even my best friend loves spice. And her sister's like, I can't. I'm like, what do you mean you can't? I understand not wanting to, but can't is crazy. That's not in my vocabulary. Which could be something about you guys as well. Can't is not in your vocabulary, because with the knowledge and the drive and literally the energy to do it, you're not stopping until you get what you want, okay? But yeah, maybe like can't is not in my vocabulary. Come here and give me that hot sauce. But she's like, I can't. I'm like, oh, interesting. But I never knew there were people like that out there, because like I said, my family loves spice. All the people I've ever met love spice. I met my best friend. I thought her family loves spice, but they just buy it for her. And I'm like, oh, makes sense. Because when I go to eat over at their house, the dad just always knows. Her dad takes out the hot sauce and leaves it there for us, and I just go to town. And they have different flavors, and he has his homemade hot sauce. So here I am thinking the whole house loves hot sauce, and they don't. And I'm like, oh, okay, my bad king, my bad queen. You know what I mean? Ace of Pentacles, interesting. You always have a lending hand. Like, there's something here about gifts. You like to give gifts as well, and that makes you very lovable. We'll take this. You love to give gifts, and that definitely takes people out of this poverty, no one cares about me mindset. So you make people feel taken care of. I thought there was more messages coming through. Give me a second. Lots of energy with the Chariot card. Very bossy as well. Likes to get your own way. Sometimes you can come off very cold. Especially your words, okay? King of Pentacles, you're always showing up for work, always showing up for yourself, always showing up for others. I'm also hearing you could be someone who likes to eat healthier, okay? I'm going to get help in hand. You already got that. Chariot, you could have an RBF, because the way his face is mean mugging me right now, I'm ready to fight him, because don't look at me like that. Square up. Yeah. And that could literally be your personality. Like, oh, you looking at me the wrong way? Square up. What do you want? What's the problem? Okay. But funny, when I was saying something, what was I saying? You looking at me funny, square up. There was something I said before that, but a song was coming through. I was hearing, and I am telling you, I'm not going. So literally like, oh, you want me to leave? How about no, right? I'm also seeing those two girls, the sisters from the men, sisters, black men, white women, whatever. Confusing, I know, from White Chicks. Right? It's funny because I was seeing, was it an ad? It was an ad on YouTube, but they were showing little clips from the movie and ranking them from like top 5. And like number 5 was like easy white chocolate. Number 4 was something. Another one was like move B, when something was wrong with one of the sisters' brother's stomach and they had to run to the bathroom. And of course, number 1 is my favorite scene almost ever in a freaking movie, where it's like, oh no, the first scene, I'm sorry, let me say it before I forget it. So you want to talk about mothers? Like, bro, that scene gets me every freaking time. Like, I will just blurt. That's one of my stims. I don't care. I have so many, but that one is my favorite one. At any time anybody want to get crazy, I'm like, oh, so you want to talk about mothers? It's giving very much Aries. It's giving very much, you want to talk about mothers, let's get into it. Since you want to get grimy, I can get grimier. Like, you want to go low, I'll take it to hell kind of stuff coming through here. And that is just hilarious, okay? But the other one was, I think number 5 was perhaps a salad. And then it was like, perhaps not. Okay, so maybe you're someone who likes to eat, you know, you like to get your carbs in, your protein in, you don't like deny yourself any kind of food, and that's something coming through as well. That's hilarious. And the King of Pentacles is Taurus energy, and they are the foodies of the zodiac. So good food, clean clothes, comforting things, fluffy textures, TV, wine, anything you can overindulge in, they're overindulging in. The King of Pentacles there, because they have the funds first and foremost, but that's just a part of their palette. They're, look at the cute little birdie. Oh, I love seeing the birds come back. It's spring for real. Just tweeting, tweet, tweet. Ah, so small, I can't. Anyway, yeah. Stop distracting me. They've been bothering me ever since I've been in the room. Anyway, focus, please. You could be someone who does have ADHD. That is on the neurodivergent spectrum, okay? So that could be something. And then stims, and I keep talking about stuff like that. So that could definitely be my y'all here, okay? But yeah, number 5 was perhaps a salad, perhaps not. So you love to eat, stuff yourself, you know, indulge, right? You like to spend money, buy things. You're very materialistic, could be a thing as well. Because earth signs are known for like hoarding, buying, spending, you know? Like they like earthly possessions. They like to fully experience life here on earth. So you're also very grounded. Excuse me. And then I think number 5 on the list of the movie, they were ranking the quotes. Then at number 4 was like easy white chocolate, right? Or it was flipped. I don't remember it, child. I'm trying to remember what the other ones were. So you want to talk about mothers? I think it was number 1. And then I think move, bitch was number 2. And then I can't remember number 3. But anyway, yeah. You could be someone that quotes movies and television shows and stuff like that as well. You remember little things that I just heard as well. You remember the small things, dates, things like that. Some of you could have felt called a group 1. Sorry, I was going to say that in the earlier in the reading. But I'm like, no. But yeah, you could have felt called a group 1. But yeah, the sun is very bright. You're quite the character, I would say, especially with Leo coming through here. You can't help but, you know, call attention to you sometimes. You could be someone who's very loud, a loud laugh, very big personality. You like to wear vibrant colors. A lot of yellow is coming through, even though this deck is kind of predominantly yellow, black, and like blue. It's a very interesting mix of colors in this deck, but I'm being called to the yellow in these 2 cards, okay? Maybe some of you have like big round faces, a lot of hair, because we have Leo coming through as well. We have Cancer coming through here too, and Cancer is the chesticles, so it would make a lot of sense why they got these 2 big titty things here. Because I've never in my life seen a Sphinx with some yitties on them now, and these 2 is hanging heavy and hefty. Okay, so your chest, okay? They love that. That makes you very lovable. You know what, you're kind of giving me, like a cozy person. Like, because you're getting King of Pentacles, which is Taurus energy, comfy, cozy, staying in and watching TV, ordering food and snuggling under the blankets. And then we have this Cancer energy, which is being at home. So the fact that you're a homebody is coming through very, very well. And maybe cuddling as well, because they like to see, maybe your someone's like more soft, on the softer side, or some of you are. And like cuddling into you is something people love to do, and that's why they find you so lovable, because they could just relax with you. They don't got to be on their P's and Q's, right? They could just come over, stuff their face, you do face masks, you do pedicures, watch TV, you know what I mean? And not have to worry about people judging them, okay? So you do have energies of being fiercely driven and goal-oriented, and then we have energies of you also indulging in all the fruits of your labors. Because I work hard, I'm gonna play even harder. Is the energy coming through here for you guys, okay? I'm very well compensated, very abundant. It doesn't always have to be money or financial abundance, but that could be with the King of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles coming through here, as well as the Sun. Like everything kind of comes easily to you is the vibe that's coming through. I'm hearing references, so maybe you like to refer people to certain things, or maybe people being friends with you gets some free ish as well. Not trying to curse. I gotta be cursing and I don't really curse like that. So y'all could have a potty mouth too. Okay, let's move on to these cards here, because like I said, I wanted this to be short and sweet, and it's not giving that. That always makes me think of, or now that I'm saying it again, it's making me think of Sabrina Carpenter's album, short and sweet. So you guys can have her personality. She's very much out there. She's very bold. She's also very sensual, which is also another characteristic of Taurus. And here we have love coming through, if I say that. The soulmates, lovers. And then over here we have the childlike personality. Look at that. You believe in love. Yeah, I'm hearing some call it magic for the things I see. And I don't understand it, but it happened to me. Yo, I hate the way Raven said that, because girl, why are you saying it like that? Like, don't make me reach to the screen and strangle you, okay? I will reach to the screen and Jorgen Von strangle. Like, let me stop. You see the violence in me is coming out in your reading? Yeah, very much giving you. But like, why is she saying it like that? What happens to me? Like, girl, shut up, please, thank you. Who child? Anyway, that is just me, because I be noticing small things like that, and it upsets me and my homegirls. Because I'm like, there was no reason why sis had to say it like that, okay? What else was coming through? Maybe you're someone who, like I said, is like a very sensual, seductive kind of person, because Sabrina Carpenter is coming through. And she's just really out there with her thoughts and feelings and emotions and wants. I remember one time I was like seeing a post on social media, and they were like, oh, it's Sabrina Carpenter's birthday and here's what she wants. And I think during one of her concerts, she was like, for my birthday, I want some Zik. And I'm like, period, sis? Love a woman who knows what she wants. She was like, yeah, I want some zing zong zing. And I'm like, heard you. Don't we all, right? We don't always get what we want, okay? But that's what's coming through for you guys. So you're a Sabrina Carpenter kind of girly. And now I'm just seeing, this card just wanted to come out, because it's like, I keep appearing at the bottom of the deck, and in my mind, I'm like, I'm not going to take it. And it's like, oh, yes, you will. That's funny. That's you as well. You can force things on people. But don't tell me I lost what I was going to say. You say, oh, yes, it's reminding me of the Grammys, how when Bad Bunny Benito was on stage giving his speech, sis was in the audience, like, what do they call it? Mogging him. Like, her makeup was so freaking good. First of all, I'm like, okay, let me try to recreate that look for myself. So you're very beautiful, okay? But the way she was like just licking her lips or biting her lips during that scene, it became like a viral meme after the fact. It's just, oh my goodness. Maybe you love to wear blush, I'm hearing, because she was known for her blush and her bangs. So some of you could wear blush and like bangs, or wear blush and like bangs, yeah. Could be something coming through for you. But yeah, I'm seeing Sabrina Carpenter. So, So we have the book coming through here. I think this is like a diary energy. So maybe, like I said, your thoughts, your wants, your needs are very apparent to people, because you're very vocal about them. We have the star. Look at that. You have star quality, star energy. And I love that we have the star clarifying the King of Swords, because the star is Aquarius energy, and so is the King of Swords. Okay. Make sure that's straight. Anything else, please, Spirit? What makes them so lovable? With the Taurus energy coming through in the King of Pentacles is giving me Libra energy. So maybe you're someone who does your makeup really good, and you're very like stylish or fashionable. So here we have the garden or outside or the park or one of those things. We have the ring, okay. Marriage material, eh? You're so lovable, because maybe that is that homey, like home feeling, not homie as in bro, what up, homie, home skill of biscuit. No, that could definitely be something coming through as well. You're the homie, okay? Why am I hearing, oh my gosh, please, that scene from, was it For the Love of Ray J? I hated that. Let me not even get into it. I remember like season 1 or 2 or whatever, they're like, Danger, she smashed a homie. So maybe what makes it so lovable is the fact that you smash your homies or something like that, okay? Or you come through as that danger, The girl Danger was her name. They gave all the girls a nickname, not to out their real names. And she had like this tattoo on her face. She had these icy blue eyes. She had this black dark curly hair, more cool toned pale skin. She was beautiful actually. You know what I mean? It was giving like, you know, vixen, succubus, but don't mess with her. I'll like bite your head off, like praying mantis or Black Widow kind of energy. The dangerous female, or femme fatale is what it's called. Yep. The dangerous female archetype is coming through for you guys if you're watching, right? I will bite your head off. Don't play with me. Like, I don't put up with your BS. I only want perfection kind of thing. But yeah, I was hearing Danger. She smashed a homie. Because they figured out that she had like slept with one of Ray J's friends. So they started singing that song. Sick. You can be the kind of person, you make songs out of everything, or you burst into song as well. And that's what makes you lovable. But anyway, let's keep going. We have the ring here. So you're giving wifey, hubby material, okay? So let me not say homie again before I get sidetracked. And then these last two cards, wow, perfect amount. We have the birds with owls. So very wise, okay? And then we have the cross. The cross is supposed to please. It's supposed to be talking about like struggles, things like that. So maybe you help people overcome, maybe you're charitable. I think I said for you guys, what was that for group 1? I don't remember. You could be very charitable and you kind of help people. You like to give to a good cause, you know what I mean? I'm hearing non-profit or not-for-profit. That's coming through as well. What else can we get for you guys? But yeah, we have these birds. It's giving bird's eye view. You kind of see everything. You peep everything. You know what's going to happen before it happens sometimes. Maybe you get like premonitions as well. And yes, and I was literally singing Raven earlier. Yes, exactly. You can tell the future sometimes. The people are kind of scared. You have like, what's it called? Forethought. And that would make a lot of sense because the Chariot card is always on the move because they know what's going to happen before it does. Oh, very interesting. And this cross could be representing crosses to bear, you know, difficulties, strife, struggles. Or it could be like you being this lovable person because you have like faith in a higher purpose, or you make people believe in higher purpose, or something like that is coming through. I am getting like psychic gifts coming through for you guys. So you have that coming through. Yeah, you can have like an oracle vibe to you where you are meant to give divine messages. I'm sorry if I feel so distracted. I'm like itching my eye and it feels so freaking good. And I know we're not supposed to itch our eye, but it feels so good. And it's giving maybe things you're not supposed to do. You still do them because they feel good. That's you tapping into that Taurus hedonist energy coming through. So that's why you're so lovable as well. Like you sometimes do things even though you know you're not supposed to be doing them. And that makes people love you. Okay, anything else coming through? Maybe you have a lot of friends who want to smash you. I just keep hearing Danger. She smashed the homie. In my head, I see you all over me in my head. That is crazy how I just went right into that song. Oh my gosh. You fulfill my fantasy in my head. You'll be screaming no. In my head, it's going down. But that's my confirmation that people have like a lot of like sensual thoughts about you. Okay? And I'm hearing that song, I get dirty thoughts about you. Maybe you someone maybe you are someone who is clairaudient or you like receive messages, because I don't know why. Oh, I'm getting a lot of messages for your reading. Like I was pulling cards for group 1 most. Like I was getting messages for them too. But for your group, like the messages are coming right in. I don't think I need the cards. They help. You're very beautiful, like I said here, because it's giving this glass case, keeping the goods safe, you know, showcasing the goods. Like, it's like, what is it called? You're on display kind of energy. People love the way you look, okay? And that's all something that's lovable about you. Like I said, if you have a style or a specific hairstyle or the way you wear your makeup, it's kind of like you're on display for everyone to see and they like watching you. Okay, so maybe you are in the public eye, and that's something people like to do as well, like to stare at you. But the star is giving that as well. They're mesmerized, you know, because you're so out of this world. You're so different. You're so Aquarian, you know? Aquarian the alien. I'm hearing eye contact is coming through as well. You keep eye contact with people and make them feel like important. Maybe the most important person in the room when you're talking to them. But this crossed bear, or this cross here, is kind of throwing me off. Because they say it's a negative card, but you never know. The cross is just here giving me you're someone who's coming through as someone who's spiritual or religious, or you may believe in, you know, Christianity or Catholicism, or Catholicism, however you pronounce that. Yeah, that's coming through as well. Because wow, I just noticed there's something at the bottom here. Yeah, that's Mary, and at the top is Jesus. So yeah, maybe Catholicism. I always thought it was just him up here, so Christianity would have made sense, but Catholic was coming through. Then I looked down here and see Mother Mary, or Mary. Okay, maybe you're someone who looks very pure and people kind of want to corrupt that or something. Ooh, your hair is also coming through. I just felt the need to kind of fluff mine up so you could have like fluffy hair. And I think I mentioned that with the Leo card, hair is important. You could have really big curly hair or just a lot of hair, thick hair. You know, your hair is prominent when it comes to you. We're already at 9. I wanted to get some cards from here. We'll pull like one card or two. What is so lovable about my group? Like, I just keep going on and on and on, but I don't want to be all up in your business now. Here we have identity, because you know who you are. It's coming through as well. This is Sir Percy Blackney. And then this card wants to fly out as well. We have the hero, Odysseus. Look at that. I quite like that. So this is you taking off your mask, and this is kind of giving me you putting it on, taking it off. And I think method acting was coming through for you guys. So you are giving actor, you're giving main character energy. Like, people can't help but stare and look at you. Your life is very interesting, is what I'm getting as well. You're giving public figure. Whether you think you are or not, there are eyes on you at all times, and they want to know who you are, which is why sometimes you may try to hide because you may like your privacy, but everyone wants to be in your business. Then here we have hero with Odysseus, and it's kind of reminding me of what I was saying earlier about Galahad, Sir Lancelot, and King Arthur. And then King Arthur came through for group 1, so there's a connection to group 1, okay? But let's get into identity. Maybe there's something here about you truly knowing who you are, and that's something that's lovable about you. I think 30 thoughts about you. We have duality, authenticity, and true self. Aquarian energy coming through again. So it says, Sir Percy Blackney leads a double life. Ooh. As the foppish aristocrat and the daring Scarlet Pimpernel, who rescues French nobility from the guillotine during the French Revolution. His concealed identity and secret heroism, stop playing, okay, reveal the tension between public appearance and private morality. Look what the bumper ass I was saying. You have a persona in the public, and then you have a mask when you go home. When was I saying that? Method acting as well, but it's giving you have something in the public eye, and there's a part of you that people don't really see, and you don't want to be seen, but you're still being perceived at all times. Wowza. Sorry. Orsi's novel is a tale of intrigue, adventure, and the complexities of personal identity. Sir Percy's ability to shift between roles reflect the fluidity and the identity and the courage to defy expectations. They seek him here, they seek him there, those Frenchies seek him everywhere. Is he in heaven or is he in hell? That danged, elusive Pimpernel. That's so catchy. And was I saying something here about you guys being rappers or artists because you be rhyming bars? Look at that. Full circle reading. And here we have Odysseus, the hero, number 1. Let's read him so I can leave y'all alone. Okay. Odysseus, the Odyssey, Homer. It says, Odysseus embarks on a journey, or an arduous journey, home after the Trojan War, facing supernatural obstacles, mythical creatures, and the wrath of the gods. Odysseus beckons you to trust your inner strength, for every trial is a lesson in disguise. Yeah, so maybe you're a great storyteller. You love to read great stories, literature, books, fantasy. That was also coming through in group 1. That's why I feel like you guys can be connected. You love all things fantasy, acting, singing, arts, things like that. And it's very apparent, you know what I mean? Maybe you're someone who likes to burst into song, you like to sing, hum, perform, things like that. But it says, I will tell you of the many hazardous adventures which by Jove's will I met with on my return from Troy. So you could be someone who's been to heck and back. Bitch by Jove. Okay, I will tell you of the many hazardous adventures which by Jove's will I met with on my journey from Troy. So yeah, you've been through some things, but supernatural energy is coming through here, and that's also what this cross is giving me. Your souls have to deal with a lot of different things, painful things, harmful things, scary things, but you've overcome them. Ten of Swords, definitely with this cross here, and this hero's journey is definitely the vibe coming through. So you're definitely coming through with someone's very courageous, which is on par for the course with the Chariot, okay? But there is an energy here of you wearing a mask sometimes, or like having split personalities or alter egos or something like that is coming through, okay? So I will leave your reading right there because I will just go on forever and ever if I could. If it resonated, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever want to book a personal reading, please do so using my email in the description box below. If you were to want to join my memberships, you could also use the link in the description box below right above the timestamps. But that's all I have for you guys. I hope this reading resonated for you. Hype the video if you feel called to do so. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group phrase. Welcome to your reading. Today we're going to be getting into what makes you so lovable, okay? I don't know why I started off the reading in my British accent, but I did. Hi. Okay, I'm done. So we're gonna get straight into the reading. Let's get into it. What makes you so lovable? Maybe you do have a British accent. Maybe you do slip into one from time to time. Maybe you do love to put on all sorts of accents, okay? Maybe you're good at many different languages. Maybe you're an aficionado, okay? Maybe you love Duolingo like I do. If you do love Duolingo, what are you studying? Put it in the comments, okay? Me, I'm studying Japanese, I'm studying Korean, and I'm studying Spanish. So what y'all studying? Okay, I can only do so much. But I love my K-dramas, so I needed to learn my Korean. Okay, I love anime, so I needed to learn my Japanese, right? And then, of course, I grew up, my family, like, their last name was Diaz on my mom's side, so I'm like, okay, but we didn't learn Spanish from nobody. And then my best friend, her family is Spanish, so I'm like, okay, her family didn't teach her Spanish, so now we're like, okay, we're gonna learn Spanish ourselves, okay? Maybe your son's like multicultural could be a thing coming through as well, because there's a bunch of different stuff that my family is like, where we're from and what they're mixed with and all kind of BS, and I can't keep up. So I'm for all intents and purposes, I'm Black American. I was born in America. That's it. My family's from the Caribbean on my mom's side. Her dad was from Venezuela. Her mom has some Chinese in there. They're also Bayesian. And then on my dad's side, his family is Native American. It's just a bunch of different things. So that is why I feel like you guys are multicultural, because that's coming through, and I felt the need to explain that. I don't know why. Now you know more about me. Hi, hello. Do you guys even know my name? I never even introduced myself. It's insane. We'll keep that put away for now. But hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Okay, let's get into the reading. What makes you so lovable? Maybe your son was like a chatterbox. You could talk a lot. Okay, I'm hearing you know a lot about different things. The first card we have is Seven of Swords in reverse. You're an open book. Okay, it's the first energy coming through. I want to know why they made that card just all yellow. It's kind of like a little jarring. Maybe you have like a innocence about you, or how am I describing it, or how am I hearing it? It's kind of like a yeah, it's like giving an innocence to the world where you don't expect the worst yet, you know? Now, what would the words be to describe that? It's right on the tip of my tongue, but it's not coming through, so we'll just forget it for now. Okay, guys. We have Nine of Swords. Interesting. Your soul is very much in your head. Or you may have a hard time articulating yourself, maybe. But you were kind of coming with a chatterbox. Maybe it's both. It can be both. I'm not going to question myself. What is so lovable with my group threes? That you overthink everything? It's endearing, is what I just heard. Your anxiety is endearing. Oh my. You have the Page of Pentacles. The Seven of Swords is giving me you keep to yourself. Or you keep your struggles to yourself at least. These squirrels don't sit their behinds down. What is that? Oh, he's so little. The squirrels have a little nest outside the window and they're just coming there and bringing their food. I want to open the window so bad and steal what the squirrel just put there. I am such a menace. Please. Wait, you interrupted my reading and you're by our window. You don't pay rent here. Leave. Like he came and brought a big old chunk of something and hid it in his nest and left. I'ma steal it. I'm sorry, guys. Don't mind me. That could be your energy coming through because I would honestly. It's tempting, but let me not. Okay, like just open the window and pluck, and he come back like, "Where's my food?" Oh no. Oh my goodness, that is hilarious. I'm sorry. You guys can be funny, or you're goofy, or you're unserious sometimes, but that's funny. But I was saying something here about you keeping this anxiety to yourself, this overthinking to yourself. Maybe you have a hard time sleeping, you have trouble sleeping. But yeah. Maybe you get like hyper fixated on certain things and I kind of really want to steal that acorn from that dang squirrel. Okay, I'm done. Let me get back to the reading. Okay, please, Spirit, tap into the energy of my group 3s. What makes them so lovable? What makes them so lovable, please, Spirit? I'm hearing you have a free spirit. You could be someone who is quite a menace and things like that. You stir up trouble. You like to play pranks is what I'm hearing as well. Not pranks. I don't like it. Okay. You're giving me my best friend. She likes to take pictures of me when I'm sleeping and send them to me when I'm not with her. She hasn't done it in forever, but I know she used to do it a lot when we first started like doing sleepovers. She would take pictures of me and I would just be like, no, please. And I would be like, girl, watch, I'm gonna get you back. And I would never get her back. Because whenever we're together, I always fall asleep first. I'll be knocked out. And she always taking pictures of people. So rude. That's like pranks and stuff like that. So that is definitely you. This card fly all over the place. We have King of Pentacles and a Page of Pentacles. I'm hearing the way you've grown up with the page from going from a page to a king is kind of giving me grown up energy. But you still keep that childlike nature, you know? And that's what I was saying. The way you still see the world like with bright eyes and a bushy tail. And as I was talking about a squirrel, okay? You can have chunky cheeks as well. We have 9 of Cups. Cute. And then we have the 10 of Cups. What the bumba? Hey, hold up now. That's insanity. Hold up. Don't piss me off. Sit your behind that. Very mischievous energy coming through. The car's acting up. Okay. And then at the back, we have the 10 of Cups. What makes you so lovable, you're kind of giving like happy family vibe. Maybe people feel very safe or secure with you. And it's funny because when I was talking about how I always fall asleep first, it was giving me how people say you fall asleep with the people you feel safe with. So I just be like knocked. Like I fall asleep quite easily anywhere most of the time, except for on the train or on public transportation or on a plane. You ain't gonna catch me falling asleep. I'm gonna be wide-eyed. I'm alert. Too many people. I don't trust y'all. I don't know you. Yeah, I ain't falling asleep there. But at home, I be knocked. The only thing is that I wake up so, yes, insomnia. That's coming through for you guys. I wake up so like often at home. But when I'm at my best friend's house, I'll be knocked out I could be knocked out for days. I'll be knocked at her house when I'm sleeping over. But yeah, at home, I'll be just waking up every hour, every 3 hours, and it's so annoying because I never hit like that REM sleep. Unless I'm at her house, and I'll be going with the wind, child. But anyway, that could be a thing coming through. You have a hard time sleeping, you have insomnia, you have a hard time falling asleep or staying asleep. One of those two, okay? Then we have a Page of Pentacles. You have this, like I said, bright eye, bushy tail. The world is my oyster. Anything can happen. Anything is possible kind of thing. I'm going to make my mark on the world today kind of thing. And then we have the King of Pentacles, which is you putting that into action, okay? This, like I said, these two coming out back to back is giving me you're someone who's grown quite a lot. You're someone who's matured quite a lot. So, excuse me, people find you lovable because even though you have grown up a lot, you still keep this innocence and youthfulness to you. Then we have Nine of Cups. You're someone who, like, I don't know, it's giving, I don't want to say you have everything you could want in life. That could be a thing coming through. But the Nine of Cups is more so giving me, like, you're someone's, like, very satisfied. You're very smug. You kind of know you have everything in your life. And it's not like you, like, flaunt it or anything. But people love you because you seem to, like, get whatever you want. It's the kind of energy coming through. You know what I mean? And then we have Ten of Cups, which is, like, yeah, you have personal fulfillment, which is things you accomplish on your own. And then you have like familial fulfillment, which is things you accomplish with a family or with your husband, with your partner, because you had kids, things like that. It's kind of giving me how people say, people who have like happy families, husband, wife, wife, and then kids, and they have a beautiful house and they post about it. People say you're rich, and not even in just money, you're rich in like love. Okay, Ten of Cups can be that rich in love, right? So some of you have like achieved or accomplished, please, you're happily ever after, and that's something that makes you quite lovable. Your family, okay, or family dynamic, or your partner, I guess you could say. Itching. Whew. You can also have a really soft skin, child, because I've been using this elite combo lately. Like, I bought the product so long ago, and because I knew they would work, but I like to keep things and hoard things and never use them. That could be something coming through for you guys as well. Sometimes when I just ramble, like messages come through, right? But I've been using this soap from Saltaire, the Golden Hour soap. So if you use them or haven't used them, that soap is so good and it leaves my skin so soft and nourished. Get it? And it smells so freaking good. So I have been using that soap for a long time, and I realized they have like an oil with it and like a body butter with it. And I'm like, I would love to try those. So I bought them, and I bought the deodorant, and I bought the spray, and I bought the something else. I brought the soap, the oil, the butter, the deodorant, and the spray. Yeah, those 5 things, I think. That's all they have in the collection. And I bought them and brought them home, and I just left them there because I tend to buy things and never use them. Makeup, sprays, clothes, hair accessories, anything. I'm a hoarder, guys. If you didn't know, now you do. And I bought them. I just never used them. And then I was watching a reading the other day, I think by Charmed Intuition Tarot, and she was like, treat every day like it's like a luxurious day and use all of your good products. Stop waiting for like the perfect occasion to use those products. And then on TikTok, I've been seeing a lot of videos where people are like, stop waiting for the perfect occasion to wear those clothes. Wear those fancy clothes every day. Every day is an occasion. Every day you're alive is a day to celebrate. And I'm like, you know what? And then I think I was watching another video like a few months back or like a month or 2 ago, and the girl was like, this year we're clearing out our closets, we're buying this, we're getting rid of that, and we're going to be finding somewhere to wear all of our fancy dresses. We are finding somewhere to wear all of the clothes we've been waiting to just wear for a special occasion. So maybe you're a bit of a fashionista or a maxinista. You buy too many things. You're a hoarder, whatever you want to call yourself. A shopaholic, okay? You're those things. You buy too much stuff. Yeah, but recently, yes, back to what I was saying. I have started using the oil and the body butter together. So you take a shower, and then when your skin is still damp, you put the oil on, right? And then when the oil is on, you put the body butter on top of that. And then I have been the smoothest, not the smoothest I've ever been, because there's a few other products in my life that give me smooth skin, but one of the products that give me smooth skin is this like duo. And skin has been moisturized, shiny, and so freaking soft. It feels so good. I also exfoliate because I'm black, right? If you couldn't tell, I'm black, right? And I exfoliate every day with my African net sponge. And if before that I got into the African net sponge, I was exfoliating with the gloves my mom used to always make us use when we were younger, because she's like, the spoofs and the sponges hold too much bacteria. So she started making us use the gloves when we were younger. So that makes a lot of sense. So people was like, oh my gosh, your skin is so soft. Yes, I low-key, high-key exfoliate every day with those gloves and that dang sponge, the African net sponge. So that on top of the moisturizing body wash, and I started using Philosophy as well, like on and off I started using it. But I went to Nordstrom Rack, I think, for Christmas shopping for everyone else, and I was still buying stuff for myself as well, hence the shopaholic. The shopper alcoholism, whatever, the shopaholicism. And I bought like a bunch. They had like a bunch on sale, and I bought a bunch of them. And I know they were good from prior use when I like used to buy them as well. But they were on sale, guys. What am I supposed to do? I bought them, and they smell so freaking good. They smell like pistachio, and I've been using that for the past 2 days, as well as the Saltaire combo. So there's a bunch of stuff I use. I just use too much stuff, but I use them. Okay, at least I love health and skincare and things that make me feel good and smell good and all that kind of stuff. And if y'all want, let me stop. This is a tarot reading. Stop it. Relax. But my Libra moon, don't get me started. Okay, so maybe you guys are into all those things as well. Okay. But yeah, that combo, the Philosophy pistachio body wash, and you come out the shower with the African net sponge. Don't forget the exfoliation, guys, please. We all need to be black when it comes to our skincare and body care routines. Exfoliate. Thank you. Okay. And moisturize. Thank you. Anyway. Yeah, you like to buy things and smell good and feel soft and all those things. Yes, yes, yes. And you're a holder. But all those things make you lovable, okay? This is what makes you lovable. Nobody's judging, okay? And if they are, F them, because I'm the same way if you're the same way, okay? So yeah, it's giving me all that kind of stuff coming through for you guys. And I completely lost the plot. I'm like, where are we? But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, how you doing? Anyway, this 9 of Cups and 10 of Cups, people love to be around you. King of Pentacles, all the things luxurious, shopping, treating yourself, buying yourself, the hair, skin, the nails, the bundles, the what do they call them? Bust downs. Like, you get your hair done, you do your hair, you love to look good, feel good, smell good kind of energy. You know what I mean? You ready for spring, those toes are already manicured. They have been all winter for some years. You know what I mean? You don't stop the upkeep, and that's something that's so lovable about you. People are like, oh, look at you pouring into yourself. 9 of Cups, making yourself look good, feel good, smell good, looking real smug and happy here. I have all my needs acquired and fulfilled. Nothing that I want. I'm not wanting for anything. Okay? And then we have 10 of Pentacles. Look at me with my nice, happy family. I'm fulfilled emotionally, doing what I love, right? Is the kind of energy coming through as well. I'm with someone I love, raising kids that we love in a family dynamic that I love. You know what I mean? Or I'm just fully happy and sufficient and healthy in life, and that's what makes you so lovable. You're a good time. You're always happy. You know, people never have to worry about you being salty, shady, blowing up on them, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? And this is like Page of Pentacles and King of Pentacles. You be chasing the coins is definitely coming through, so that makes you quite lovable, because you could be chasing the coins, and then you can also be very generous with those coins with other people. You treat people, you buy things for people. You're not the kind of person, oh, I bought this for you, pay me back. You know what I mean? Just all around really good vibes, actually. You treat yourself and others quite good. Hoarding. Anyway, I'm gonna stop calling you hoarders, okay? You're collectors of valuable things. It's what I like to tell myself, okay? That's it. That's all. But there is something here about you being an overthinker. You stress out about certain things. Or you're too hard on yourself. It's something that's coming through. That's not something that's lovable. And at the bottom of the freaking deck, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah. I'm like, what's at the bottom of the deck? That's not what makes you lovable. The fact that you overthink, but it's like an endearing quality to you. Like, oh my gosh, look at you. You're always over second guessing yourself and thinking yourself into like a tizzy, which doesn't even sound lovable in my opinion, but that's something that's coming through. Okay. Yeah, maybe the way you ramble, you get a little bit nervous, you overthink things. People love saying, it's okay, just relax, you know, just breathe, you know. But King and Queen of Pentacles, stop it. You guys are giving me someone who may have found like you're happy ever after with a partner. Okay? You're those people on social media who have the kids, the nice house, everything that you need. Like, you could do content and stuff like that. I'm not really getting a big energy of that here, but it's giving me you could, with the amount of stuff you buy, you could do content if you wanted to, you know? but you just haven't. This is also kind of giving me a different take now that I'm seeing two adults together and two kids playing. You do have this adult mentality when the time comes and when it's necessary. And then you do also have this childlike demeanor coming through as well when it's necessary. So you will play ring around the rosy when the time comes, and then you're going to get into grown folk things, okay? And you know what I mean by grown folk things. Thank you. Because we're all adults here. We should be. If you're watching the reading. Over 18, thank you. People, please shut up. People could consider you posh. You could have a stutter as well. Sorry, no tea, no shade on that. That was just coming through. I be getting tongue-tied sometimes as well. I gotta pause and then say what I want to say, because I'm gonna start all that, you know. But yeah, you could be someone who's coming off as very posh, high maintenance, stuff like that. Very abundant, very fertile. I'm hearing very nubile, you have like very soft curves. You're very soft. Like I said, you could be soft and cushy, okay? A good cuddling partner, right? Or you have like, you know, soft bits. I don't know why I'm doing my accent more in this reading. I don't know. Somebody here is British. Stop playing. Show yourself in the comments, because I know you're in here. Yeah, you have soft bits, you have cushy bits, you have squishy bits, and they love touching all the bits. Okay, I'm hearing a nice big booty batanga as well. With this, what is this called? A rabbit. And the fact that I was seeing a squirrel in your rating is definitely giving me the energy that you're very cutesy, you're very adorable, squishy, cheeky, double cheeked up. yeah, like that too. But I meant like you have like cheeks. People want to pinch, you know. You could be double teeth up as well. Both things could be true. Two things could be true now. Okay, so let's keep going. I'm getting distracted, guys. You guys could be distracting. Or you make everything into a joke and people love that, and that's why you're so lovable. Because you keep things very easy. Things don't have to be hard about you. You haven't gotten anything too heavy for you guys yet. And I think group 1 and group 2 are getting more heavy topics. Maybe you're someone who keeps things light, you know? Or maybe you don't really dive too deep. Maybe you don't feel too much. I'm not getting that energy with you guys, but it could be for somebody here watching, you know? It's like, yeah, tough topics aren't coming up because I haven't had to deal with those. Or I just ignore them when they do show up, you know? Or I just don't speak about it. That was such a ghetto shuffle. We're doing that again. Okay, please spirit further chat me. Oh, look at that. What? Don't piss me off. Thank you. Okay, what makes them so lovable? I just keep looking at the 10 of Cups. People like being around you. They're like your family. They're like you. The kids, the hubby, the boyfriend, the fiance. Here we have the castle. This could be giving happily ever after vibes, or you could be someone who's very tall. I'm hearing an indomitable foe as well. I wouldn't be surprised if the polar bear pops out, but I wasn't really getting polar bear energy from you guys. But the polar bear, like the word indomitable is in the summary. That's why I thought of the polar bear. We have a letter. Maybe the way you articulate your thoughts or how you're feeling. Maybe the way you're open and honest about, like I said, this anxiety that you experience or the overthinking. Your someone's very, 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 very vulnerable. And you could have a stutter for real. Okay. What makes my group 3 so lovable, please, Spirit? What makes them so lovable? Look at that. We have the lilies, the romance. You're a romantic at heart. Keep getting like a big youthful vibe from you guys. You make people feel safe, secure. Maybe you validate their feelings and their emotions instead of telling them, oh, shut up, get over it. You know what I mean? And that's why they feel really safe around you. And you feel safe around you. It's kind of giving me that quote that I've seen, like, be the kind of adult younger you would have felt safe, like confiding in or being open to, or, you know, coming to if they needed help or something. You would be the older you is the adult younger you would have felt safe with, which is like healing in and of itself. So a lot of healing has gone down in your like energy. Because like I said, we have the page into a king. Your sun is growing a lot. but you also still keep that innocent outlook on life, you know? You haven't become jaded is the way I can say it, okay? Here we have the woman holding a rose. Look at that. Romance, daydreaming, fantasies, big dreams. We have the sun coming out from behind the clouds. Things don't stay dark for long. I'm hearing because life tends to show you how good it gets. That's actually really beautiful. I like that. One more card, please, Spirit. What makes them so lovable? The way you communicate, the way you write things down, and look at, oh, not the yeti. I hope you didn't see that. Here we have the rider, which is like giving me playground. Then we have home, so stable, secure, safe. That's coming through again. If you feel called to another group, go watch another group is what I'm hearing to say as well. So do that if you feel called to do it. But here we have the homes, kind of giving me like, you know, cozy, comfy, like Hobbit vibes. So small, comfy, cozy, clean, comfy, cozy, whatever. You guys could be giving small, comfy, and cozy in stature. Someone's very small, but you're also very squishy, like I was saying here as well. And then we have the rider. Someone likes to play fun and games, do arcades, do jokes, pranks, things like that. You have like a very playful air to you, okay? So we have this, we're gonna put that there. It's also, like I said, just a good time, a good energy to be in. People could fall asleep quite easily around you. They could tell you and confide their deepest, darkest secrets into you. Like they want to just be around you and your energy at all times. That's something that's very lovable because everyone loves you. I'm hearing everybody loves you. That song is coming through. That song is actually not a cute song in my opinion because it's a girl talking about how she accused a guy of doing something, but everyone still loves him anyway and doesn't believe her. So I don't like that song, but if you were interested in hearing it or knowing what it was, it's Everybody Loves You by Charlotte Lawrence, okay? And it's funny because I do believe she's English, or maybe she's not. She could be. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, she's like, I'm telling everyone how bad you are and they're still loving you and it's not making any sense. So maybe you are someone who's gone through some things that kind of keep you up at night, you know? We have like a lot of energy of overcoming here. Now the energy's coming through, the more we get into the energy. I'm like, oh, you guys are still giving me, oh, you're still someone who's like happy and you smile and you like to have a good time. But maybe it's because you've overcome these things and you've healed these things. But it doesn't mean you haven't gone through them still, right? Okay. But soft and cozy, kind of like a home, being at home feeling. And then we have the woman, another woman. We have both women coming through. And I'm just covering her nip because the nips are coming out. I mean, yeah, they have her whole yeti on display. And she looks too realistic for me to not put it down. I don't even have anything to cover her with. You know, actually, give me a second. Spirit will provide. There was a loose screw on the table in the break room. So I just, you know, covered the nip they were showing there. But yeah, we have this woman coming through. If I remove the screw, you'll see a nip. But these both are ladies, because as you can see, we have 29 here and 29 here. So we have lady number 1 and lady number 2 coming out. So you're very feminine, okay? Maybe you're someone who likes, like, you have like manners, you know what I mean? I'm hearing finishing school. So maybe some of you like grew up in that kind of culture where you went to finishing school and you know how to walk ramrod straight and cross your legs and which forks to use and how to be treated by men. Or maybe you just grew up in a stable household where you had a mom and a dad, so you saw the feminine role versus the masculine role. So if you are feminine or masculine, you knew what role to put on, you know? That could be a thing coming through. As opposed to someone who only grew up with women and they only know how to be hyper independent because they didn't have that male figure there showing them it's okay to be soft and release and let go and be in their feminine. Or if you grew up in an overly masculine energy, you don't know when to be soft and feminine and receive. You only know how to take, you know? And then the people who only grew up in a feminine energy only know how to give and do for themselves. So it's giving that coming through. Maybe you grew up with both, so you know how to act, you know how to be defenseless and, you know, simple when the time comes and not do too much or overgive or over, you know, overexert yourself is the word I was looking for, yes. And then other people are like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to rest and relax and, you know, give to myself and just, you know, give literally and not just always take. That was a nice stretch. Oh my gosh, yes, please. People can feel euphoric. Maybe you know how to make people feel good, you know, in that kind of grown folk way. 9 of Cups is giving happy ending, right? Especially because he's giving the smug smile man. Okay, so very good with your words, or you know how to express the pain you're going through or feeling. You're not someone who hides the pain away from people, and that makes you very lovable. Like I said, you're not saying you don't go through it, and they're not loving that you go through it, but they're loving that you're honest about it, because we have a dissertation here or a letter explaining what is going on or clarifying the 9 of Swords, which is the energy of anxiety, not feeling good, overthinking, stressing yourself out, all that stuff, okay? Then we have the Lilies, which is an energy of, like, I don't know, romance and softness and beauty is what the Lilies represent, okay? And I was talking about soft skin, and we have the petals of a flower are very soft, okay, if I might add. Let's see if you can read about it in the book. 30. I said 30. 30 are the Lilies, which is calm, peace, security is what I, not even security, serenity is what the word it says, but I read security, so that's a thing as well, is what I preach. Your parents and elders show up under my symbol. So you could be giving parental energy or elder energy, mom energy, dad energy, you know, kind of energy, please. Too many energies, please. Okay. I bring wisdom and experience to signify a long-term relationship or ancestry. Look at that. You're even giving grandparent, even, for some of you. Contentment and satisfaction is my angle. Lilies, 9 of Cups. That's how people feel when they're around you. Satisfied, okay? So you could definitely be someone who likes to cater to them, because then we also have the Queen of Pentacles, which is the perfect balance, like I said, between the feminine and masculine. Yeah, we have the Queen of Pentacles, the feminine embodiment of the Pentacles. So knowing when to sit back and receive things from people, knowing when to be gifted to and cater to. And then we have the King of Pentacles energy coming through here, which is someone who knows when it's time to work and when it's time to give. So we have these two energies coming through here. We have the bull and we have the bunny. Those two are very different energies, but they're both abundant in their own right, okay? The father and the mother, the giver and the receiver, the provider and the nurturer, the hunter and the gatherer. And historically, women were known to do all of that. Women were known to hunt and gather, okay? So it's giving that full provider mentality that you come through with, or at least wanting to give and take care of people, okay? Okay. And ancestry is coming through as well, and it's funny how I was going through all the things that I could be, like, you know, mixed with in my cultural and also ancestry-wise, so that could definitely be a thing coming through as well. You know where you come from, and that's something that's very lovable about you. With the home coming through, you come from a nice home, or you've built a nice home for yourself. So lady number 1, I could be you, the reader, or the female subject of your reading, or female partner of the significator. Okay? A woman looks up from her book, her thoughts wandering. There is a commonality of ambiance and mood that connects this woman and this card to its male counterpart. The red rose provides an additional point of connection that binds them. It is a token, a gift, something given and received, something shared. So they're talking about this lady here, okay? She's holding a rose, and then in the deck, there's also a man who is holding a rose. So that's their, like, they would be counterparts of the deck. And then we have lady number 2 that would match with man number 2. Lady number 2 has her yiddy out, like it's that sensual nature to you, that sexual healing to you. But she has like Venus on her necklace, and then the man counterpart has Mars on his necklace. They would also be counterparts there. So it's like the pure instinctual feminine vibe and urge, and then the Mars man would be the pure instinctual masculine urge. We didn't get him. We got 2 feminine energies. So your feminine vibe is very strong, nurturing, taking care of, making sure people are good, healing is the big thing coming through for you. Creating families and making families feel safe, okay? So the confidant is coming through. People want to confide in you, and they want you to help them. You know, emotional regulation can be a big thing for you as well. But yeah, we have lady number 1 and then lady number 2. As with the second man, the expanded Reverie deck includes an additional lady card. This version shows a powerful and elegant woman looking out of a window to the right of the card. She has a draped red robe, and between her breasticles, she clutches the feminine symbol of Venus. The light shines in through the window, emphasizing her strong features. She is the embodiment of feminine power. Okay, so we have soft feminine with the blush on the cheeks. I think I was talking about blush for you guys. Blush on the cheeks, you know, hair pulled back. We're looking really soft and dazedly and gazing off lovingly into the you know, distance. And then here we have this woman looking more fierce, like a warrior. So you're able to embody both of those energies quite well. Okay. And yeah, I'll leave it right there. I'm with this deck. We have one more deck to pull from. Okay. And then I'll leave y'all alone. Right. Okay. And then we have the Rider, which represents fun, youthfulness, a glow, you know, knowing how to spend your time, a rainbow, so happiness, belief in better days. Maybe you're like an actual healthcare or healing profession, like doctor, therapist, social worker, teacher. All those things are coming through. We're gonna get one more card or two more from this deck, and then you'll be on your way. Is this exactly two? How many? Three, I guess, because yeah, they all come out together. Here we have Enlightenment. Ooh, we have Siddhartha. He's cute. I know there will be brighter days. You keep the hope up. You keep the morality up. Here we have Community. I've never gotten this one. Ooh, we got a new card. New card alert. We have Community. Antonia Shmurda? Like Bobby Shmurda? Let me stop. Don't get me started. So I'm not gonna be from New York. And then here we have Metamorphosis, Eliza Doolittle. We've gotten this card quite a few times. But let's get into the ones we haven't seen yet. Communicate. That's this 10 of Cups here, 9 of Cups. You were able to build satisfaction on your own and in order to bring satisfaction to the rest of the community. So it's giving self-regulation. You've regulated yourself in order to regulate others, you know? Which is why you keep giving a healing profession. But let's get to 47. So what makes you so lovable is the connection you bring to people, that how they feel like they belong, and the togetherness. It says you are being reminded of the importance of community and its strength that comes from your connection with others. Reach out to your support system or actively create one, knowing that they are all stronger together, or that we are all stronger together. Take time to find and foster the connections that form your community. Now, for a real good second, I thought I said take time to find your roster. So some of you can have a roster. That's insane. I'm like, am I seeing things? I am, because I swear I saw roster. But it says take time to foster. Okay, please, thank you. It says, Antonia's spirit of resilience and connection to the land creates a sense of community that extends beyond her immediate family. Her life on the Nebraska plains is a testament to the strength found in the bonds of friendship and the shared struggles of survival. Antonia's journey reflects the importance of community in shaping identity and purpose. So like I was talking about, your community, your family has shaped you as a person, which made you either like securely attached or someone who had to be learned to be that, okay? But it's giving you have people there to show you the dynamics or the dynamics that show up in connections and your femininity versus your masculinity. You were able to see both embodiments of that in your life. So that's why you're someone who's like so grounded and stable and able to be so, I guess, firm in your feminine, because you have had like a stable masculine in your life. If that makes any kind of sense, child. So basically you had a daddy, uncle, a grandfather, or somebody show you what it's like to feel safe in your feminine. And that's why you're able to embody it so well. Thank you. Okay. Antonia's journey reflects the importance of community in shaping identity and purpose. Antonia becomes a symbol of the immigrant experience in shaping the American landscape. And while I was talking about all the cultures and all that kind of stuff, and now we have the American landscape coming through, spirit, they slickly not. Okay? It says she held her little sister by the hand and chattered away in the language which seemed to be spoken so much more rapidly than mine. She looked at me, her eyes fairly blazing with things she could not say. I was talking about languages. let me just bow down right now. Let me just bow. Like, y'all welcome. Because it's insane how I just be hearing stuff at the beginning of the reading and it like always comes through again. Insanity. Anyway. Yeah, so different languages, speaking different languages, coming from a household where different languages are spoken, but they may have taught you English to help you fit in. That's my best friend's story. Her father and mother only taught her and her siblings English. They didn't teach her Spanish because they didn't want her to be made fun of or feel outcasted in America. And in America, you know English, so they taught them English. And now there's a whole side of their culture that they don't know about because they didn't teach them about Spanish. All that's coming through as well. Okay, anyway, let's get into the enlightenment coming through here. 37. So why are you so lovable? We have self-realization, acceptance, and peace. Boom. Clap, sound of my heart, the beat goes. Okay, I'm done. Siddhartha embarks on a spiritual journey that takes him from the extremes of asceticism to the embrace of worldly pleasures. In the search of the ultimate truth, his path of self-realization leads him to the realization that enlightenment cannot be taught but must be experienced through the totality of life. His story reflects a timeless quest for inner peace and wisdom. And it says, it was nothing but a readiness of the soul, an ability, a secret art to think every moment while living his life. The thought of oneness to be able to feel and inhale the oneness. So enlightenment, Kundalini awakening, you've done all your work, okay? Of course, we're never fully done healing because things always happen along the journey of life, but it's giving. I've healed, I've done the work, I know what's wrong with me, and now I'm kind of trying to keep on the path to making myself and everyone around me feel safe, happy, and healthy, so no one ever feels maybe outcasted or lonely like I used to or I did, okay? Boom. And then I guess we could read from Metamorphosis. I think Metamorphosis is giving me the same as enlightenment, but I guess we'll read for that. Let me not be, dusty. Here we have Metamorphosis. So why you are lovable? Because of the transformation, the evolution, and you realizing who you really are, okay? And stepping into that energy. So it says Eliza's transformation from a flower girl into a lady is not merely one of external refinement, but a deep metamorphosis of self-awareness and independence. Her journey reveals the power of language and identity. Language again? Are you serious? Stop. A language and identity in shaping one's fate as she grows beyond the expectations of those around her. Eliza's metamorphosis is a testament to the strength of self-discovery. And it says, if you can't appreciate what you've got, you better get what you can appreciate. Ooh, felt that and heard that. And that could be something you've done. Okay. We often think it a modern predicament, but our relation to our identity is a timeless problem. Are there ways to transform who we are, or are we as stagnant and unchanging as a statue? This card asks you to believe in the power of your own will to become a glorious version of yourself, which you have become, guys. So that's what I have for you guys. That's what makes it so lovable. Each group was about 40 minutes long, child. I love y'all because the way I be sitting here chatting to y'all and doing these readings for y'all. I appreciate y'all for watching all the way through. Okay, let me know in the comments if you did, what you liked about the reading, if it resonated. If it did resonate in any kind of way, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Join my little tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever want to book a personal reading with me, you could always do that using my email that you can find in my description box below the reading. If you don't know how to, just comment and I will literally link the email in the reply comment, If you didn't want to join memberships on the channel, you could always do so by clicking join wherever you see my profile picture, or just using the link in the description box below right where the timestamps always are. But hype the video if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye. You could also be someone who tinkers with things and taps stuff and have nervous jitters and movements, because I kept messing with the cards when I was doing the outro and I don't usually fidget like that. So that's coming through as well. But now I'm done. Love you guys. See you in the next one. Peace.